We've got a large water main break near Peoples Drive and 124th.
10-4, we'll need lights and barricades.
This is Dakota County Dispatch. We have an incident requiring Public Works assistance. Corner of Peoples Drive and 124th Street.
We are on call 24/7, 365 days a year. We leave our families.
We respond in the middle of the night. We are out there on holidays.
We are always here when people need us. We are Burnsville Public Works.
Public Works Department in Burnsville includes several divisions. The Public Works Division itself primarily oversees all the engineering of projects in the city, the street maintenance, the street repairs, all of those things in the city, along with utilities, which includes water, sewer. We also deal with the stormwater portion of the city. We include the fleet department, and then we also branch over into the Parks and Recreation Division and Facilities Divisions. And with that come unplanned things like emergencies. And so depending on the time of year, the Public Works Department is responding hand in hand with the fire department or the police department to those emergencies to provide whatever services are necessary for those emergencies.
In utilities, primarily the two emergencies we respond to is because we work with the water and sewer system. Our water main breaks probably take the forefront, and then sewer backups when the sewer system quits flowing.
Burnsville Street Department responds from everything from snow removal, anti-icing, de-icing, to even ducts in our storm sewer system.
Well, I think when we get called out the most for police and fire is mainly in the wintertime, obviously with all this, the conditions, the severe conditions and stuff like that. That's probably the worst on equipment.
The Public Works Department assists the police department in emergency situations in a variety of ways. Whenever we have an incident on the roadways where it requires their assistance, they're our first call. It's rare that you hear the police call for 911, but if we have a 911 call, it's usually the Public Works Department.
I can remember a situation in North River Hills where we had some sewer caps that were removed because of an explosion in the sewer system, and we had to evacuate the neighborhood. And Public Works came out with all their materials to put up signage and block roads so that we didn't have to have police cars and fire trucks and people tied up with traffic control.
Earlier this year, we had a barricaded armed subject. Obviously, that creates an immediate risk to the officers responding to the call, and it's our responsibility to make that area as safe as we possibly can. It's difficult for us to secure all the streets, and we rely on our Public Works Department. In this particular case, they were one of our first calls. They immediately came out without complaint.
My work schedule can be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's something you just, over the years, you either like it or you don't. I enjoy what I do, so don't bother, but you have to be ready because you can be called day or night and you need to go.
You know, I might get a call in the middle of the night and put your boots on, you go, and my wife will wake up and I'm gone, you know, and I get a phone call and it's like, did you go to work early? And oh yeah, I've been here since midnight. You know, I've had a lot of cold dinners, a lot of missed t-ball games, things like that. And it's not only hard on us, but a lot of times it can be hard on your family as well. You know, those things have to be put on hold, and you know, they understand that what you're doing here is important.
I find it actually very rewarding. I enjoy delivering a high level of service to the city of Burnsville, and I know the teams and people involved in Public Works also enjoy that as well.
It's been really rewarding working here, working with the city and Public Works. It's just interesting to see, you know, as a whole, how everything starts to come together.
In the spring, we often deal with flooding issues, issues related to the runoff from the winter and the water's rising, and we're trying to be proactive and preventative, but there are times where you can't anticipate flood waters rising.
The worst flooding issue that I recall was about 3 years ago. We received a little over 5 inches of rain between like 3 a.m. and 8 o'clock a.m. in the morning, so it was like a 5-hour window. We received 5.3 inches of rain.
That's the kind of role we take on kind of in that spring-summer transition. And then summer, obviously, severe storms. Natural resources, meaning our forestry staff and our street staff, are oftentimes called in to respond to different windstorms to, number one, provide access to emergency services, help the electric companies get access so they can get power back on for people, and help residents come to and from their properties safely.
It was middle of the afternoon storm. It came through really fast, a lot of high wind, and a lot of trees came down in Burnsville. Within probably about a matter of a half hour of that storm coming through, we had heavy equipment out, moving trees. That was a major effort. It kind of all the departments came together for that, and it was weeks of 10, 12-hour days.
Fall, I would say, is kind of our break season. We don't typically have too many issues from Mother Nature, and so that's when we ramp up and prepare for our winter season. Winter season emergencies are a little more orchestrated, I would say, than the rest of the year.
Plow.
Everybody takes part in plowing snow. Everybody is involved in it in one way or another. All of our departments are in this facility kind of pulled together, and in one way, shape, or form, we're out plowing snow, or we're maintaining equipment, or we're standing behind them making sure everything continues on until we get done as soon as we possibly can.
Without safe snow removal, you know, everyone who's been stuck in traffic, it's not only painful, but it can be dangerous. And along with that, you know, other emergency services, whether it's the police department, a fire truck, or, you know, medical services, that they need to have safe roads on as well.
It's really a 365-day-a-year emergency season for us, just like it is for police and fire. Utility breaks don't pick a time necessarily that they're seasonal, and so we oftentimes are left responding to an emergency under a major roadway where we've had typically a water main break, cause the roadway to start collapsing in an area, and have to make an emergency repair while still keeping our traveling public moving to and from work.
We work on public safety vehicles and equipment. The reason we do that is obviously the type of work that they're into. They're running these vehicles at high speeds throughout the city, and they've got to be in tip-top shape. So we're constantly bringing them in for service. There's safety checks, there's preventive maintenance checks. We're making sure everything is in tip-top shape, ready to go for them when they need it.
I can think of a couple times where we've had fire trucks break down on emergency scenes, which doesn't happen very frequently, but it didn't matter whether it was 2 in the morning on a weekend or if it was 2 in the afternoon. We call the folks from fleet maintenance and they're coming out to try to get that truck back in service.
Usually it's a weather-related event. Typically it involves winter conditions when the roads are in such poor condition the squads may have difficulty getting in and out of the parking lot or responding to calls on the roadway. They're always our first call to help.
Doesn't matter what division you're in, doesn't matter if your typical day is working in parks and mowing, you may be out plowing, or if you're streets, you may be repairing potholes in the morning, and you might be out in an emergency assisting hauling material or securing a street for police and fire. Same with utility staff. They all come together and work on whatever emergency we have.
I chose this type of work when I was a very young individual. I enjoyed the equipment. I grew up on a farm, so I knew being part of working hard and being out there in all conditions was something that I really enjoyed, so that's why I stayed with it.
What I want to emphasize is the residents should feel good. They have staff that are committed and who are there 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, ready to help out in whatever the circumstances. That's our staff that's out there. There's nothing that makes me more proud than to be part of that, and they don't ask for any recognition, and they do a fabulous job for the residents and businesses of Burnsville.